Lovely shot, punched away through the offside. Waited for it beautifully, and it looks like it'll get away to the boundary for 4. Didn't try and hit it too hard, Sikandar Raza. Waited for it till it was under his eyes and threaded it through the gap perfectly.
That's a terrific shot. Look at the head position right behind it, and then as you mentioned, didn't try to hit it too hard. What is important was to find the gap. It's a very fast outfield. Once you find the gap, you find the boundary. Important runs for Zimbabwe. Once again, Sikandar Raza looking very good.
That'll be wide. Torting with the bouncer to Sara Pereira, but just getting it too far in his own half and ballooned over the batsman. Not afraid to experiment to Sara Pereira, and that's what makes him a really good bowler. He's got a trick up his sleeve, and invariably is very consistent as well with where he lands the ball and what he wants to achieve. There we go, that's better. That's better. Another short delivery, but this one is in the right area.
And also good from the captain to have a slip in place, because they know it's important to pick up another wicket. This pair is crucial for Zimbabwe. In the last 2 matches, 28 and 21, the partnership between these two, but they would need a few more here to ensure that Zimbabwe go to a good total. A lot will depend on this pair, I reckon. That's well bowled. Really well bowled. A 6 of the over. After 16, Zimbabwe 70 for 3.
দুই বছরের ওয়ারেন্টি যুক্ত গাজী পাম্প আছে তাই আর কোনো চিন্তা নাই স্রোতের ধারায় বইবে জীবন পানির অপর নাম জীবন
.70 for 3, and there's going to be a new man introduced to the attack, playing in his first game of the tournament. Lakshan Sandakan, slow left arm Chinaman. He really does bowl some wicket taking deliveries, presents you with a few scoring opportunities as well, but what they will want is wickets. Best of 4 for 52. He really is difficult to read, and this will be a very, very interesting passage of play. I think he's bringing him on at exactly the right time, Dinesh Chandimal. Before this partnership gets going, both batsmen still new to the wicket. Introduce your mystery bowler. Down the leg side, he's got some bat on that. Went really fine. If they'll be able to get back for 2. Just had to hurry a wee bit in the end, Brendan Taylor. They've got a slip, they've got a man at backward square leg. As soon as he hit it, he knew straight away Brendan Taylor, he was off. He had got it fine enough. But just as he was turning here, he thought, well, I can take it easy. And then, no, I've got to get a move on. Oh, there's a reverse sweep. So we saw footage of Zimbabwean batsmen playing the conventional sweep. On that occasion, Brendan Taylor deciding that the reverse sweep was the play. And I suppose if not 100% sure about which way the ball's turning, and he's very proficient in the horizontal bat shot, Brendan Taylor, then you might as well from the get-go get it played. Put the bowler under pressure. Don't try and play with the straight bat. Straight away from the get-go, put the bowler under pressure. Make him know that you're prepared to play the horizontal bat shots and he has to be spot on.
I think he needs to be very good with line and length. The moment he drifts down the leg side or is shorter on the shorter side, then the batsman will be quite keen to rotate the strike. And once the batsman shows you early in a spell that yes, he's not afraid to play the reverse or the sweep, that means sending a message. Oh! He's taken that catch. That is a very good catch. He cannot believe it because the fielder earlier on was a short leg. And all of a sudden a change in the field and he went for the sweep and a very good catch. Kushal Mendes has taken a very good catch. He's hit that from the middle of the bat. That is a fantastic catch. Superb catch, so early strike for Sandakan. Good work from the bowler and a really good time for him to come into the attack to send back the man on form. He's gone for 9. Sikandar Raza, Zimbabwe 73 for 4.
রনি দরজাটা খোল শুনছো মেহমান এসছে ওই কাজু বিস্কুটটা দাও
আরে তোমরাই তো সব শেষ করে দিলে মেহমান কোথায়
তুমি তো মেহমান ছাড়া দাও না আসল কাজু বাদামে ভরা ও ফ্রেশ বাটারের সাথে ইফাত কাজু ডিলাইট বিস্কিট শুধু মেহমানের জন্য নয়
Well, they're under the pump now, Zimbabwe. Malcolm Waller is the new man to the crease, 73 not out. That is insofar as matches is concerned. 73rd game today, 99 not out. His highest score. He comes in with his side in a spot of bother. He's here because Sikandar Raza has flushed one. Pick up sweep, but he's hit it straight to the fielder, Kusal Mendes at square leg. Have a look at this. There it goes. Right out the middle bat. Hit hard. He's got the hands up quickly. And taken a really, really good catch. Important catch. Because that is Zimbabwe's in-form batsman. He could have done a lot of damage out there. Sandakan, in his very first over, has effected a breakthrough. On the leg side, so it'll be single wide. Joe, you mentioned that they'd moved the man from backward short leg to square leg by the umpire. Just that delivery, they've gone back to the backward short leg at the moment. They'd moved it for Sikandar Raza and it worked a treat.
Yeah, Zimbabwe in trouble at the moment. They need to steady the ship here, repair the damage. Malcolm Waller in with Taylor. Again, there's a bit of a turn, so really don't know which one is going to turn which way. It's called a wide, but I don't think Malcolm Waller picked it up.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. He's just trying to work it out there, which way this ball's going to turn. This time he's able to flick it away on the onside, offside I should say, and he'll get off the mark. So a successful over for Sri Lanka. Zimbabwe now 76 for 4.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ আগাগোড়া মজবুত বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম
গাজী প্রথম গাজী সেরা
Six and over, hits them 274, but they won't be worried about what lies in the future. The Zimbabweans, they just need to concentrate on this next half an hour and make sure that they don't lose another wicket. Got off to a decent start. Masakadza and Solomon Mire put on 40 odd, and well, since then it's all gone a little pear-shaped, and Sri Lankans have come storming back into the game. They needed to take wickets, and led by the all-rounder Tisara Pereira have done just that, and then Lakshan Sandakan mystery Chinaman bowler. Well, he's come in very first over. Has dismissed Sikandar Raza. Big appeal, big appeals. Given him. He's given him straight away. Malcolm Waller goes upstairs. Was there an inside edge? That is
third
the
umpire
question.
to Param. Param review for leg before wicket. Start with front foot first, please. Original decision is out. Yeah, Fade delivery. Spin vision, please. Nice and slow. Yeah, can you rock and roll it there? Rock and roll it there. Yeah, big inside edge. I don't need anything else. It's a big inside edge. I will go to the umpire. Bruce, clear inside edge onto the bat. You have to reverse your decision. You are on screen now. Thank you.
There we are. We thought that there was a bit of an inside edge in real time, and that's proved to be correct. A big inside edge from Malcolm Waller. Probably was a little high as well. So he went upstairs straight away, signalled to Bruce Oxenford that he wanted to have a look-see, and quite rightly so. Oh, he's put him down. He's put him down. Flicked away on the leg side. He was put there for exactly that, and he's not able to hang on to it. Upal Taranga. There he is in a catching position, flicked away by Waller. And, well, you got to take those. Got to take those. A bit of a juggle. Two hard hands, you'd have to say, because he actually pushed it further away from him. Well, how costly will that prove?
That should have been taken. Came at a good height, saw it till the very end, just popped out in the last moment. The letter for Malcolm Waller. Yeah, we talk about what Zimbabwe needs to do to ensure you had it spot on, Alistair, that they cannot afford to lose another wicket. Created the chances. Lakmal will be very disappointed, unlucky. Look at this height. Look at this. This has gone straight into him. The regulation catch should have been taken once, twice, and then it just goes away from him.
Just panicked a little bit. Juggled the first one, and then he thought he had it. He was busy running down the wicket to celebrate, and then realised, oh, Upal, what have you done? He juggled the first one, and then with the second juggle with his left hand, trying to push it up in the air, just went at it too hard. Just needed to have the left hand a little softer, pop it up in the air, and would have been able to gather it on the third attempt.
Yeah, he survived early. It was initially given out. He went for the review because it was a big inside edge. And I thought Saranga Lakmal has bowled really well. Didn't start it well, but he's come back very strongly. In his sixth over, should have picked up a wicket or two, and it's just given away 18 runs. The economy of just over 3 runs in an over for him. Very good indeed. That's exactly what Sri Lanka wanted from him. Could have easily picked up a wicket here and could have turned things around in favour of them. Is still in a strong position, Sri Lanka. I really don't want to see them drop catches.
Driving for the Yorker. Not quite there, but a testing over from Lakmal. 78 for 4 now.
সকালে বিকালে অথবা সন্ধ্যায় যে যখন চা চায় টি টাইম থাকা চাই মাখনের স্বাদে ভরা মচমচে নোনতা ইফাত টি টাইম চায়ের সাথে সেরা চা ইফাত টি টাইম চায়ের সাথে সেরাটা
Yeah, wickets at regular intervals since the 10th over. It was going fine up to then, but now They find themselves with plenty to do, Zimbabwe. Sandakan into his second over. He's got to hurry, Malcolm Waller. Called straight away by Brendan Taylor. If it had been a direct hit, would have been interesting. But I think in the end, because the keeper had to gather it, he's going to be safe. But yeah, there, if it had been a direct hit, he was out. Direct hit, he was out.
Surely. And it's only the 19th over, Alistair. You really don't want to take unnecessary risk at the moment. So much time left. That's nicely swept. You will get opportunities to pick up runs. He's gone through. He wants the second. That should have been a second one because that's what you want to do. Misfield in the outfield should result in the second run here, and he knows that. But yeah, just going back to the point that I'm trying to make is that you don't want to take unnecessary risks. Nice looking shot. Too casual. It's gone through. Should have been a second run. But you don't want to take any risk and ensure that you just bat for 5, 7, 10 overs. Look around to rotate the shot. That's nicely played. That's fine, and that's gone. That's very good from Brendan Taylor. It'll be a boundary.
Really good effort to make contact. Not a great delivery, you'd have to say, from Sandakan. Down the leg side was really full. And, well, it wasn't really a horizontal bat shot. It was like a vertical bat shot. Just helped it on its way around the corner. Waited for it at the last minute. There we go. Really, really good stuff from Brendan Taylor. A little too straight at the moment, Lakshan Sandakan. That's better. That's where he needs to be, outside that off stump. And then if the batsmen aren't reading him, got the opportunity to go past the outside edge. Just in the first few overs, it's just too leg side for me. There again, he misses out this time. Brendan Taylor, it'll be signalled wide, but he's a bit irritated with himself. Should have done better. Again, too straight, too leg side from Sandakan.
Yeah, I need to change the line and bowl a little bit closer to the stumps. Just like that. And nicely played with soft hand. There are open spaces on the offside. There's a good single taken. Yeah, once you drift down the leg side, you give an opportunity for a batsman to pick up a boundary. Brendan Taylor just did that a little while earlier. You need to keep on creating the pressure because Zimbabwe are under pressure at the moment. There's no question about that.
Eight off the over, 19 bowled, 86 for 4.
প্রাকৃতিকভাবে কোলেস্ট্রল মুক্ত ইফাদ সলিড গোল্ড রাইস ব্র্যান অয়েল, সচল হৃদয়, সুস্থ জীবন।
Over, not so, but he's picked up the all-important wicket of Sikandar Raza. Lovely punch down the ground, really good shot, textbook stuff from Brendan Taylor. Waited for it beautifully, didn't try and hit it too hard, and just pushed it down the ground for 4.
Yeah, I think it was pre-decided when he stood outside the crease. Perhaps just taken the bowler by surprise, and then probably Lucknow was thinking it was a good land delivery. It turned out to be a half volley, but he still had to put it away, and that's put away really beautifully down the ground. Really good shot from Brendan Taylor.
The last over from Lucknow, the opportunity he created, just bowling wide of the crease, angling it into those stumps. He's got very good slower ball as well, and the last one trying a Yorker, just not executing it as he would have wanted, but he's got a very good change of pace. That's Lucknow, very difficult to pick And very difficult to get away. He's got a bit of gas as well, fastest, just under 140.
Yeah, still not a bad pitch to bat on. Yes, at times it just stopped. It may be coming off a little bit slower than what the batsmen are anticipating, but you need to adapt and adjust quickly. The more time you spend in the middle, it'll be better for you. Current run rate will get them 232. And they'll be eyeing around, so if they can get somewhere around 250 from here on, will be a really good effort. But first thing first, it's this partnership. And he needs to take the responsibility, not just him. I think Malcolm Waller needs to also play a very good role here with the bat.
Yeah, agreed. Brendan Taylor will be desperate for a big score here. Just come back into the Zimbabwe colours. Hasn't had much cricket played in the pink ball day-night test match. That was a bit of a disaster from a Zimbabwean perspective. Played in a couple of test matches against the West Indies as well. So far as one-day cricket is concerned, be desperate to get some runs on the board. 170 matches for him, plenty of experience, good average. Zimbabwe's best player just in the first two games, hasn't been able to contribute as he would have wanted. That's up in the air, just eludes Upul Taranga again. He's in that position, catching position, square on the leg side. It's Danushka Gunatilaka. Actually, Taranga's been moved and just evades him, diving forward. He's creating a few problems here as Saranga Lakmal. That short delivery, Brendan Taylor, well, he didn't have a clue. Tried to fend it off, managed to get a glove on it, and in the end, lucky to be there. Another short one this time. Able to guide it down to third man. Testing over from Lakmal. Really good one. 20 bowled, 91 for 4.
রনি দরজাটা খোল শুনছো মেহমান এসছে ওই কাজু বিস্কুটটা দাও
আরে তোমরাই তো সব শেষ করে দিলে মেহমান কোথায়
তুমি তো মেহমান ছাড়া দাও না
আসল কাজু বাদামে ভরাও ফ্রেশ বাটারের সাথে ইফাত কাজু ডিলাইট বিস্কিট শুধু মেহমানের জন্য নয়
Just the 9 boundaries thus far in the Zimbabwe innings. 20 overs bowled. Lakshan Sandakan to continue. Worked away on the leg side by Taylor. Again, just a little too straight. I just maybe think that he's not getting outside that off stump because there is no protection. Square on the offside. Doesn't want to just be prodded in the gap on the offside. There's a man on the boundary and he's probably there for the short delivery. There he is, but apart from the slip, the next man in front of square on the offside is a very straight cover. He feels that he needs to be at the stumps. So far he's been negotiated pretty comfortably by the Zimbabwean batsman. I just think maybe a different form of attack. Dinesh Chandimal maybe can get another guy on that offside. They've made a change though, because the man that was under the helmet at forward short leg is now gone. Back on the one by the umpire at square leg.
He's had a good start in the series, 24 and 38 in the last 2 matches that he's played. 38 against Sri Lanka. But he failed to carry on, to convert the starts into a big one. That's exactly what he wants to do, because once again, he's got the start. 20 of 27 now. 30 of 51 versus Bangladesh, 24 of 45. And to see someone like Brendan Taylor to get a good start in, you would expect him to convert those into a big one. That's exactly what he has done in the past, and that's what he would want to do, especially today. Under pressure.
Yeah, he'll be desperate for a bigger score, a 3-figure score. And he's under some pressure here. Likes these situations and he'll be keen to capitalise. There's that easy push into the offside that I'm talking about. Malcolm Waller Very simply gets it away. So end of 21, 95 for 4 now.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
Have a look at the projected scores of Zimbabwe. 226 is what they're going to achieve if they got the current rate, but I'd imagine they'd like to go 6 and over from now on. It's going to be difficult. Akila Dhananjaya replacing Suranga Lakmal. And he's going to bowl from the Dutch Bangla and the far end of the ground. 3 overs so far. It's been pretty economical, the field for him. He's got a leg slip. Nicely behind that, just pushes it in the gap and ambles the single. So it's a decent partnership being built up here between Brendan Taylor and Malcolm Bowler. 23 of 27, very crucial. They just settled the innings down. Full of quick wickets. First one 44, second one at 49, third at 56. And the fourth at 73. Whipped away. Just milking the runs at the moment. Have a look at the speed comparisons between the two spinners. Sandakan, average 75 comes. Batsman has to wait for it. Dhananjaya goes the pacier of the two. An average of 83. Swept round, and he does play that ball very well, does Malcolm Bowler. And 3 runs scored from the first 3 balls. So the content, just to bide their time, wait for the loose balls to come around. This is a rebuilding process going on in the middle. That's a wise option. Don't you think so, Roshan?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I think what Zimbabwe have done well is that they have played risk-free cricket. Since the fall of the 4th wicket, they have looked to push the ball into gaps. They've played the sweep shot quite well. Singles. And straight to the man at mid-off. He's attempted to bowl something different. I think he attempted to bowl the wrong end there, because he bowls the off-spin a lot. He throws in the leg break as well. But look at the back of the hand. That's the off-break. 98 for 4.
চলো না ঘুরে আসি অজানাতে, যেখানে নদী এসে থেমে গেছে।
গাজী টায়ার, নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
Asakatsa and Solomon Mire got a good partnership going. The first one up 44, but since then there's been no evidence of the two partnering together till this one. 25-32 balls. Maybe Lakshan Sandakan, 1 for 18. He's the mystery bowler, isn't he? Can't understand why he wasn't played in the first game. I think with his caliber and his guiles, he would be the first option.
Well, I think one of the issues involving him is that he needs to bowl with good rhythm. Otherwise, he tends to leak a bit of runs. But in terms of wicket taking, he certainly has the ability. He's Sri Lanka's mystery bowler, bowls the wrong end.
And just for the wrong one, they've got the slip-in for the right-hander. Well, that was the more left-armer's orthodox leg spin.
I still feel that he needs to look to bowl a little bit quicker. The moment going at 74-75. Like to see him bowl slightly quicker.
content to give the ball some air, but don't you think, Roshan, that the normal tendency for leg spinners, whether they're right-handed or left-handed, is try and get more purchase, and to do that, they need to give the ball more air. Maybe that's what's going through his mind.
Yeah, if you're looking for some spin, yes, but I also think that he needs to be the type of bowler that will not allow the batsman to get to him. He needs to bowl with a quicker loop.
Maybe that's the one. Seemed to be going through a little quicker. Not quite. It's still under the 70 mark.
I see it as 80 kilometers. Or was it 69? Maybe I didn't see it correctly, but I saw it like 80. I may be wrong.
And that's employed very nicely. Knew what the ball was going to do and just went forward, met it and tried to glance it away. But good chase. That's commitment shown in the field. The Sri Lankans, except for the dropped catch, one dropped catch, I think have done well in the outfield.
Yeah, one other thing about Lakshan Sandakan is we have seen him bowl his stock ball a lot. The wrist spin, we haven't still seen that googly that he could bowl. We have just seen him bowl it once, I think. It's important that he gets it on a good length, gets the batsman playing forward rather than playing it on the back foot.
Well, that was missed completely. Ends over 23. It's 102 for 4.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ আগাগোড়া মজবুত বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
If they go at this rate, they'll reach 221. That's he waited on that one. I just felt that initially might have gone forward here and try to go to the pitch of that ball. Decided otherwise in the process. Couldn't get so many runs. 8 and over from now on will take them 300, which will be absolutely marvelous if they can reach it. That's a lovely looking shot. Didn't really hit it too.
Spin. Brendan Taylor ready to well, but like the way Danushka Gunatilaka threw himself around on the boundary at long on. Good commitment.
Just a hint of a turn again, and he's going forward to try and smother the spin. Takes the inside part of the bat. Brendan Taylor coming back.
He does very well. That's a quick single. He's throwing the leg break as well.
How do you control all those kinds of deliveries? That's fascinating. I just had a look at the two of them. He's a genuine off spinner. That's the back of the hand googly and the orthodox leg spin.
That's what makes him so special.
Last ball tucked away for no runs. 106 for 4 after 24.
কি প্রবলেম?
আমরা বোর।
বোর? এই যে ক্যাসেল দেখছো না? আর এই যে প্রিন্সেস পিঙ্কি। এই যে দেখো পাইরেট জনি।
সুপার চিকেন আর সুপার মশলা ফ্লেভারের সুপার টেস্টি ইফাত এগ ইনস্ট্যান্ট নুডলস। নুডলস যখন এত মজা, মজা তখন ঠেকায় কে? এগিয়ে চলো কল্পনার রাজ্যে।
Slow and steady. That's how they're progressing at the moment. Zimbabwe, after 24, 4.42 is their current run rate. 6 for 4 is comfortable enough. Rebuilding process going on. Sensible cricket in the middle. 33 the partnership worth 44 balls. And he, again, that seems to be the way he's going to negotiate Sandakan at the moment. And just sweep, sort of paddle them round into the deep and collect the singles.
That seemed to be a place that the Zimbabwe batsmen have enjoyed scoring runs, the short fine leg. That's because he's been straying down the leg side, and he's also bowled that stock delivery that spins back at the right-hander.
Gives the ball somewhere. That's the one that's going away from the right-hander. Well, it's line, but it's been hit away. with a lot of confidence into the cover boundary.
Well, that was the attempted wrong, and that Brendan Taylor read very well, because the length allowed him to get on the back foot. You need to get him on the front foot. And plenty of time on the back foot. That's the wrong one. Saw it early, got on the back foot, plenty of space on the offside. So that was not clever by Sandakan. Need to get him playing on the front foot if he's looking to bowl that.
Well, he's gone for the reverse now, but there's some protection. The slip, he was standing in the slips in the previous delivery. Just been posted there, anticipating that kind of a shot from Brendan Taylor. Taylor has interspersed and mixed his shots very well, adjusting to the requirements. Down the leg side, oh, missed out on that. That should be a wide, signal by Masood Rahman.
Well, I think Taylor is reading him quite well, and Sandakan struggling a bit. Struggling with his line, knowing that Taylor's looking to play the reverse and the conventional sweep, so he hasn't tried the wrong end a lot. Just looking to get into a nice groove. Now coming back around the wicket with Taylor on strike. Needs to settle in, needs to get into a nice groove, Sandakan.
There again, similar kind of shot, similar kind of results. Fielder coming round, and another single. The result, this is becoming a little too obvious at times. That bowler trying. This Taylor scoring areas versus spin in this series. Well, you can see onus on the leg side, particularly between mid-wicket and the backward of square. 63% of his runs coming in that area, and also some drives through the offside, 23%. Back cracks it away. There is a protection in the deep.
Zimbabwe very smart against Lakshan Sandakan. They have not allowed him to settle down at all. They have looked to punish anything loose. They've been very good with the sweep. Anything short quickly on the back foot. And add to that, Lakshan Sandakan hasn't really spun his googly. That's the problem. He is not beaten the bat.
Hardly tried his googly, and one or two occasions that he has tried, it's been erring in line and length, and has allowed the batsman to punish them. There, that's going to be pretty close. Oh, inside edge possibly saved him. No response from the umpire. I think they're not going for the review. Look at it. Dinesh Chandimal still thinking about it. He's not going to take it. So 25 overs completed, 114 for 4.
পানির প্রয়োজনে আমরা আছি সব সময় আপনার পাশে। বাংলাদেশের সর্বাধিক ব্যবহৃত পানির ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী ট্যাঙ্ক। গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা। বাংলাদেশের সমৃদ্ধিতে গাজী গ্রুপ।
Two batsmen who have been with Zimbabwe for a while, senior statesmen, if you can call them, Brendan Taylor, Malcolm Bowler, building up a very crucial partnership here. Goes for it, it's over the infield, and it's one bounce into the boundary. Now Dhananjaya comes under attack straight away.
Well, that's the way to go as far as Waller is concerned. He's not allowing the spinners to dictate terms. That's the off break. That was pushed through quicker. Mid-off inside the circle. Now Dhananjaya going round the wicket, creating that angle. But there was an element of risk in that shot because he was hitting with that ball spinning back. But in the end, it was very well executed.
Last ball of the last over, shot for the LBW. It was a clear edge. We thought so initially. Up here, no question there. And that's lovely looking shot into the deep for another single. So after the boundary, you get the single. This is excellent cricket from the Zimbabwean. They've bided their time. They've gone through a period when the bowlers have been a little frustrated. And now with every opportunity they're getting, they're scoring the runs.
So Dhananjaya bowling to that leg side field. He's having a square leg, mid-wicket, 3 men out on the leg side boundary, spinning back the off break. And he's also mixing up good change of pace that was pushed through quicker. There you are, you could see that there's a man at square leg, mid-wicket, obviously looking to work the off break.
Now, is the batsman going to try and upset the rhythm of the bowler by going inside the line and try to play inside-out shots, because the wide open spaces on the offside, except for that sweeper cover and a short extra cover, nothing in the deep. Now he's gone over the top. Now there's a fielder lining himself up, and I think that's a terrible effort. I think he should have taken that. He was just placed there for that kind of shot.
That's a poor effort. That is really a poor effort. Kusal Perera is the fielder. I think he should have taken that. It was hit straight to him. Let's see. Yes, he's inside the line. It bounces once. A 50 partnership is up, but that should have been taken.
Best opportunity. We were just praising that the Sri Lankans were pretty committed in the outfield. The 50 of the partnership comes off in good time of 55 balls. But how they're going to rue that. And 26 overs done. 1, 2, 3 for 4.
গাজী টায়ার, নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
Zimbabwe, 1, 2, 3 for 4. Now, could have been 5. Now, look at this discussion going on. This is crucial. I think he's not liking Dinesh Chandimal with the effort in the field, particularly that catch.
I like that. I really like that. Look at Dinesh Chandimal. Look at the look on his face. I think he's meaning serious business here. He's just letting the fielders know that they just can't take things for granted. Catches should have been taken. That catch, Upul Taranga. And I like Chandimal's approach. No nonsense approach. Needs to let everyone know that he's in charge, and also he needs to let everyone know that it's important that they have to be up to their best on the field.
I think it should be anticipated or appreciated by all the players that this is a kind of a do-or-die situation for the team in this Rocket Try series.
I'm sure they do that, but also important that there cannot be lapses of concentration.
That's what the point I was trying to make. I mean, even positioning yourself in the right time, you know what to expect. Bowler and the captain puts their field in the positions, the batsman plays into your hands, and then you can't finish it off.
You know, Zimbabwe quietly looking to get out of that pressure situation they were in. There is a partnership already developing. The last 2 overs before this one had gone for 17 runs. So you could see that they're gradually looking to get out of troubled waters.
With a little help from some lapses in fielding. That's the one. That's the one that goes away.
And look at the length he bowled. I still feel it's a little bit too slow, but look at the length he bowled. He's getting him playing on the front foot. That was looped, bowled much slower. Well, it's good if he's comfortable bowling that length at that pace, but get him playing on the front foot, not on the back foot.
Absolutely. You're mentioning it, that even when he was getting the googlies going, it was a shade short. But you got to have the batsman committed to the stroke, and that's only when you can afford to just drop it a shade short of what the bat is doing and beat the bat. Another one. Now this one is slightly shorter. The batsman was tempted for the sweep, missed out.
Now Sandakan starts to bowl his wrong uns when he feels comfortable, when he feels that he's in a nice groove. Now he's bowled 2 deliveries. That's went the other way. Completely baffled Waller. Again the wrong un. Just completely misread it. Was playing for some inward turn.
This time he is anticipating that delivery, just backs away, cracks it into the deep and goes through for a single. So 1 over that has just cost 3 more runs. It's really just building up that wee bit of pressure on the Zimbabweans once again. Oh, that's a chance of Stumping was there. There's a wide down the leg side. Be interesting to see that from square on.
I think that's a wide. You can be stumped off a wide, that's for sure. That was looped, that spun down the leg side. Taylor was completely deceived, but the point for Dickwell is he had to drag it from well down the leg side because it did spin, but he was deceived.
Close call. And down the leg side, swept, and that's gone beyond the fielder. That's a very bad delivery and punished. Over 27 completed, 131 for 4.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ আগাগোড়া মজবুত বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারই না পাইতাম
গাজী প্রথম গাজী সেরা
Just after the one big over in the power play, we've had this steady. The last 3 overs have yielded a lot of runs. And it's come at the right time. Also a dropped catch in the middle there. Nuwan Pradeep. 3 overs, maiden, 15 runs. Started off the innings. It's a little wayward, a little bit down the line, leg side mostly. Let's go just a little bit of nip inwards, maybe off the seam, gets the inside part of the bat. The partnership of 50 runs between Malcolm Waller and Brendan Taylor has been a partnership where they had initially had to stabilize the innings. They were in a spot of bother, the Zimbabweans, but once they got the opportunities and a dropped catch to boot, it helped them in compiling that partnership of 58 so far of 63 balls. Short. Left alone, but that's going to be signalled a wide. Well, that's very interesting to see. Oxenford said one over the shoulder.
Yeah, but why was it a wide? Did it bounce that much? How high was that?
That's why I said it'll be interesting to see.
I know. Is it? Let's see. How high was that? It was short. Look at the point it passes the shoulder. Let's see how good the call was. Oh yeah, good call. Take it back totally.
Roshan takes it back, Bruce.
Yeah, front on, I didn't think it bounced that much, so we're all fallible, aren't we?
Absolutely. There you go. And stop there. It's about a foot and a half over, maybe even 2 feet over.
Good call. Well done, Bruce Oxenford. Apologies for questioning your wisdom.
Well, it's been a good over. It's been decent enough, except for that wide. 3 chances dropped. No, 2 chances and a stumping opportunity, I think. We'll have a look at them. This one juggled, Taranga dropped, and then one in the deep. That should have been taken. He was well inside the boundary. Should have stood closer to the boundary. And that one, close call from the keeper.
I think the third one would be a little bit harsh on the keeper to call it a chance because he did well.
Did you see where he was standing? As the ball was delivered, it'll be interesting to see. He seemed to be having a middle stump guard as ball was bowled. Let's spot it. See his leg stump there. And he played into his hands down the leg side.
Poor delivery, that's all. Poor delivery. Just can't bowl there, Nuwan Pradeep. Don't bowl there. Because your field is not meant to be there. Well, he'll think that he was lucky that he got an inside edge. But the point is, he's expected to bowl more straighter, more off-stump line, not the leg stump.
Well, straight pass. Did it hit anyone on the way? It's just mistimed to a certain extent. I thought he's trying to go full flow with the head down the line, but not quite timing it.
Well, this is a good change by the captain, Dinesh Chandimal, to get the faster bowler on. Because there was a little bit of predictability from both sides with spin bowling. The batsman just settling into a nice rhythm, but good to have spin pace.
Yeah, there he goes. The trigger movement across to the offside. And that completes over number 28, 136 for 4.
গাজী টায়ার, নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
A good partnership means that the projected scores start to be looking more rosy for the Zimbabweans. It's the ball trying to extract some extra bit of purchase from this wicket, and it's played away quietly for a single. And Taylor and Malcolm Waller. He's been sweeping well. The reverse sweep, the orthodox sweep, the paddle sweep, all taken into account. It's just nudged the balls. Look at those. Various occasions. And even the conventional slog sweep is employed very well too.
I think they have played him very well. They have been excellent with the way they have read him. Anything around middle and leg stumps, they've looked to play the sweep, they look to play the flick with the turn. And just a marginal error in length has been put behind point, just like that. So generally, the Zimbabwean pair of batsmen have played the left arm spinner quite well.
Absolutely. I think what they've done well also is to assess the nature of the wicket. They've initially taken their time to have a good look at what the wicket may be doing. There are no gremlins in the pitch as such. So it's very comfortable to be choosy with your shots, more selective.
Lakshan Sandakan has been he's generally looked to bowl good length. He's also been in that area, but I think it's the speed he bowled. So even the length deliveries has been swept and played off the back foot because there's plenty of time. Now that delivery was pushed through a bit quicker.
Well, he's employed that sweep quite often, and I think he's been given. I think he's got an underage. Did he? I was not sure. There's an appeal from the bowler taken by the keeper. He didn't seem too interested, but the umpire's finger has gone up. He did appeal, the bowler and the keeper, so he's gone.
I think there was a clear nick. Let's see. The batsman knew straight away. Yes, there was an underedge. There was a clear sound. Bowler knew straight away he hit it. There was no need to appeal because it just walked away. So that's the wicket Sri Lanka wanted. Bowler goes for 24, 139 for 5.
Eggy sticks, eggy pillow. ছোট্ট ব্রেক, ছোট্ট স্ন্যাক্স।
PJ Moore to the crease, 29 games for him, best of 52, average of under 20. But he's got an opportunity in this particular game now where he's going to have at least 21 overs that he can bat. So plenty of time, and he's here because Malcolm Waller has perished to the sweep shot. An underedge, good tack from Narishan Daquila. And there's evidence of the underedge, and he didn't bother hanging around, given out by the umpire, knew he had hit it. and embarked on the long walk back to the pavilion. Just when they were starting to build a big partnership here, get on top of the Sri Lankans, they've managed to peg them back, have the men in blue, and managed to get a wicket at a crucial time. There's a big appeal. Now then. Is that a bit high? Looked pretty good in real time. What has the umpire adjudicated? What's been going through his mind? There it is. Yeah, high. Way too high. Yeah, he knew straight away. Key to Zimbabwe's fortunes in this innings lie with Brendan Taylor. He's got to make sure that he's there. At least 5 overs to go, and then he can obviously play some shots after that, but he's got to try and hold this together and try and get himself to 3 figures in the process. You have to think that it's still a good surface, but having themselves 5 wickets down now, maybe the 290 of the previous game is out of the window, but they can still get their 250, 260, even 270 if Taylor stays there. But if he gets out, or they keep losing wickets at regular intervals at the other end, they're going to be under pressure to get over 200. So plenty still to do. As I look at the LBW shout again, so there's no issue with the direction and in line with the stumps, but going over by a long way. What do you make of things, Atta? Where do we stand at the moment? Who's got their noses in front?
Well, with that wicket, certainly Sri Lanka just edging ahead. Rahman Mukul making his debut. There must be the family with the that poster around. Anyway, a bit of a mix-up here. Oh, this could be dangerous. Well, the fielders are already celebrating, but we'll have to. This gone upstairs. You mentioned about.
There's a referral for run out, best side on, please.
Okay, where is it? Ready up to? One up. Ready up to? Cue back. Okay, take up to.
Waiting for the replay, guys. Here it comes. Yeah, clearly outside. Bails are off. Clearly outside the crease. Decision is out. Param, please load out on the big screen, please.
And the bail is up in the air. So yeah, there's the dreaded news for PJ Moore. Not what Zimbabwe wanted by any stretch of the imagination. Awful mix-up. Brendan Taylor sent him back, and Peter Moore is going to have to depart without even facing a ball. Zimbabwe now 139 for 6.
Yeah, very good from Sri Lanka, picking up 2 important wickets. In comes Graham Creamer, the captain. Well, Brendan Taylor is playing a really good role, but he needs support. He needs support from the captain now. 139 for 4 at one stage, and they've lost 2 wickets on the same score. So now 6 down for 139. Really good piece of fielding. Big mix-up in the middle. And PJ Moore found himself short after diving full length.
Now you got to feel sorry for PJ Moore. Not his fault at all. Did everything right. Not ball watching his partner, responding to the call. Brendan Taylor, well, he said no far too late. Here we go again. There it is. Round the corner. Brendan Taylor was off in a hurry. There he is, watching his partner. Off he goes. Brendan Taylor sends him back. and he was stranded halfway down, no chance. Decent return from the outfield. In Zimbabwe, well, they could ill afford for that to happen. You talk about Brendan Taylor needing support, yes, but he's just run out his method of support on that particular occasion, and now he's got it all to do with the captain, Graham Creamer. Flicked away on the leg side. There is protection out there. That man in an unorthodox position, you'd have to say, behind square on the leg side, has been in some action. 30 bowled, 141 for 6.
চলো না ঘুরে আসি অজানাতে যেখানে নদী এসে থেমে গেছে
গাজী টায়ার, নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
Yeah, the first 3 wickets going to Thisara Pereira, and he's only bowled 5 overs. Since then, he's not come into the attack. I thought Pereira could have come on for a couple of overs when the partnership between Brendan Taylor and Malcolm Waller progressed for a while. But so far, so good for Sri Lanka, because they have picked up wickets at regular intervals. They've got 5 overs in hand from Thisara Pereira, but at the moment, Sandhu Khan is doing a pretty decent job. He has been on expensive side. If you look at the way the runs have been scored, he's gone up nearly 6 runs and over in his 8th over now. But what is important for him and Sri Lanka, they've picked up a couple of wickets. Zimbabwe versus Sandhu Khan today. Whenever they've come down the wicket, they've actually missed it and they've given a wicket away. So you've got to be extra careful if you're thinking to go down the track. Again, in search of a partnership now, Brendan Taylor has played a really good role with the bat, and we mentioned a little while earlier, he needs to find someone who can stay with him for a while here. Still, after this 19 more overs to be bowled here, it's important for Zimbabwe to play till the very end, and hopefully one of them in the middle plays till the very end.
They've got a few runs from the sweep shot, both the conventional and reverse, the Zimbabweans, but there's also perished. And that have been Sandhu Khan's 2 wickets. Sikandar Raza hit it hard to square leg, where he was caught, and Malcolm Waller, the last man to go, trying to play another sweep shot on this occasion, getting an under edge, and Nirishan Dequella doing the rest behind the stumps. So it's live by the sword, you die by the sword, as the saying goes.
As a batsman, you need to be 100% sure the shot selection. You mentioned about those 2 dismissal, trying to sweep the ball. That's nicely played, right on the top of the ball, and just guiding it on the onside. No risk in that shot whatsoever. But when you attempt to play the sweep, there's always a chance. If you missed it, you're in trouble. If you don't middle it, you might also be in trouble. Top edge. But I thought Sikandar Raza hit that quite nicely, right from the middle part of the bat. I thought he was a little bit unlucky. Very good catch. When the fielder was posted at square leg inside the circle. Now, if you look at the field at the moment, that's the kind of a field they had earlier on, and they had pushed that fielder at backward short leg to that closer to the umpire inside the circle on the onside. That's well done. They will create the pressure because Creamer has just come on to bat. Have a look at the dismissal of Sikandar Raza. We'll show it once it's ready. That's well bowled. That went the other way. We'll come back with that. Good over. Just 3 runs in that over. 145 for 6.
2 বছরের ওয়ারেন্টিযুক্ত গাজী পাম্প।
গাজী পাম্প আছে তাই আর কোনো চিন্তা নাই, স্রোতের ধারায় বইবে জীবন, পানির অপর নাম জীবন।
প্রাকৃতিকভাবে কোলেস্ট্রল মুক্ত ইফাদ সলিড গোল্ড রাইস ব্র্যান্ড অয়েল, সচল হৃদয় সুস্থ জীবন।
কি প্রবলেম?
আমরা বোর।
বোর? এই যে ক্যাসেল দেখছো না, আর এই যে প্রিন্সেস পিঙ্কি, এই যে দেখো পাইরেট জনি।
সুপার চিকেন আর সুপার মশলা ফ্লেভারের সুপার টেস্টি ইফাদ এগ ইনস্ট্যান্ট নুডলস। নুডলস যখন এত মজা, মজা তখন ঠেকায় কে? এগিয়ে চলো কল্পনার রাজ্যে।
Masakadza and Mera started well, looking good, but they kept losing wickets at regular intervals. 47 not out for Brendan Taylor has made the difference. Can he continue on and go on to pick up a 100 here? Really good for him and Zimbabwe. Sri Lanka, on the other hand, will be hoping to create more chances. They've picked up 6. Yes, they've dropped a couple of catches. Yeah, they've been a little bit sloppy, but in the end, still pretty good. No one Pradeep. Done for 22 of 5. He's bowled a maiden. He's back into the attack. They're going at a rate of just under 5 runs in an over, Zimbabwe. And once again in search of a partnership here. Bowling to Brendan Taylor. Yeah, we spoke about Sikandar Raza's dismissal. We talk about the sweep shots, the kind of shot that they have taken on, especially against Sandakan. He hit that quite nicely, and I thought that catch was very good indeed. Just for that delivery, he had come back into that position, and it's quite close. It's not that far. It's not close to the square leg umpire, and it struck very nicely. Had it gone up just above his head, it could have been gone to the boundary. Short delivery. Luck has gone in their favour at times, but also they've dropped a few.
Yeah, Brendan Taylor struggled a little bit against the short ball on the leg side there. He's fended a few off there, worn a few as well. And the Sri Lankans, they've posted 2 men on the leg side catching. There's the one I'm talking about. There he is, definitely in a catching position. And there's another one at mid-wicket as well. They've obviously identified an area here and are peppering him with that short delivery, not giving him anything full to be able to work away on the leg side. He's just got to find a method here, Brendan Taylor, to try and rotate the strike.
And this is really good from Dinesh Chandimal, the captain, knowing that they're bowling to a batsman who's been batting for a while. He's well set on 47 and 62. That's what he has done today. Number of deliveries in the good length area. Poor delivery. Really poor delivery. And he takes full advantage puts it away for a boundary and brings up his 50. That is a very well made 50 from Brendan Taylor. First 50 after comeback.
Yeah, really good stuff. And he'll know that it's only job half done at this stage, but he's provided the backbone of the Zimbabwe innings thus far. Really, nobody has been able to hang around with them and build a substantial partnership. 2 full going for the Yorker. So had a few short deliveries, tried to follow it up with the Yorker, just not executing.
Yeah, the captain will be disappointed, Dinesh, because they have a plan of beautiful batting. I mean, absolutely brilliant from Brendan Taylor to come back in and steady the ship and then keep on going and scoring runs and a good pace also. He started well, Pradeep, with 3 dot deliveries, and then drifted one down the leg side, punished for a boundary. And it's come back strongly also. So that's finishing with a dot. Not a bad over. 149 for 6.
সকালে বিকালে অথবা সন্ধ্যায় যে যখন চা চায় টি টাইম থাকা চাই, টি টাইম থাকা চাই। মাখনের স্বাদে ভরা মচমচে নোনতা, ইফাত টি টাইম চায়ের সাথে সেরা চা। ইফাত টি টাইম চায়ের সাথে সেরাটা।
$149 for 6. There's another sweep shot. Oh, that's picked the gap really well. Really well executed by Graham Creamer. He knew there was a big gap out there on the leg side, and he got a lot of bat on this one. Exactly where he wanted it to go. It was nice and full, and was able to control it very, very nicely.
Yeah, he picked the length very quickly and played it with the turn, because it came back into the right, and that's a very good shot from the captain. 58 deliveries for the third 50, the quickest of the lot. Good up pitch, but good work also. That had gone past him, could have been another single, easy single. You'd want Brendan Taylor to be on strike. He's picked up a boundary because he's the one who's well set. They would want him to take as much strike as possible. Easily done. Open spaces on the offside. There's a man in the deep, so there'll only be a single.
He's just been a wee bit inconsistent, I reckon, Lakshan Sandakan. No surprises, left-arm Chinaman bowler, very difficult art. You expect a wee bit of inconsistency. I think that he's been a little too leg side to the right-handers. Could have been pitching around that off-stump just outside. He's been too straight on too many occasions for me. Having said that, he's come into the side and with the specific role to take a few wickets, and he's done just that and got rid of 2 very important wickets as well.
Yeah, perhaps also on the shorter side, he should have been a little bit fuller. 7 runs in that over. After 33, Zimbabwe are 156 for 6.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
After 33, it's 156 for 6. They're going at a rate of 4.73, and Just because they've lost a couple of wickets, they could have accelerated a little bit more, but now they realize that they cannot afford to lose wickets here. Anything above 250 can turn out to be a decent total here. And they have to bat really well to ensure that they go on to pick up that number of runs. Have a look at the 50 scored by Brendan Taylor. Played that paddle sweep nicely. There's a couple of shots down the ground. Looked really good. Looked in control. Looked set right from the word go. Took a few chances, but he's put the bad deliveries away for boundaries, and that has been the key. Number of shots on the onside, hardly anything on the offside, only 4 shots on scoring shots on the offside. So the Sri Lankans have been guilty of bowling him on the legs. He's taken full advantage. Dhananjaya back into the attack, looking to ensure that he can create a little bit more pressure and force the batsman to play a false shot. Cheeky. They rotate the strike. Yes, it's important for Brendan Taylor to take as much strike as possible. I know Creamer is doing a pretty good, decent job at the moment. 9 of 11. Very good.
Yeah, I agree. Just needs to make sure he's rotating the strike and holding up an end. That'll be the mandate for Graham Creamer in these next few overs. Runs the first one hard, but it'll just be the single. And so far as Brendan Taylor is concerned, it's just to bat to the end. Very simple equation for him. He knows that he'll be able to score a few boundaries at the back end of the innings. He knows he'll get a few loose deliveries. It's important that he hangs in there.
That's his scoring areas on the onside. Majority of the runs has been on the onside, backward the square on the onside, in front of the square. And I just wonder, they've got a new batsman in, whether Dinesh Chandimal, the captain of Sri Lankan team, is thinking to bring on Thisara Perera for a couple of overs if Brendan Taylor is on strike, because he is the wicket taker. He's done really well. And I'm sure if they can pick up Brendan Taylor at this stage of the game, they'll be feeling a lot more comfortable. 160 for 6.
গাজী টায়ার, নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
Yeah, everyone has been really good and kept the pressure on the Zimbabwe batsmen. Wicket takers thus far have been Thisara Perera and Lakshan Sandakan. And well, Athar Ali Khan, you've got a crystal ball because you implored Dinesh Chandimal to bring Thisara Perera back into the attack, and he's done just that. 3 for 20 thus far. Bowled superbly well against Bangladesh. Bowled really good Yorkers. Got some reverse swing going as well. What can he do here?
Yeah, I like this. I like this move. And then knowing that, not a lot of batting to come after this pair. And he's done wonderfully well. Let's have a look at the wickets that he's picked up. First 3 wickets all taken by Thisara Perera. Flashing one outside the off stump and a very good catch in the slips. First one was Milton Masakadza, and then Solomon Mire getting cramped up with a short one. So he's bowled really well. 8 wickets in this tournament so far. Highest wicket taker. Why not have him come in for a couple of overs and see whether he can dislodge, especially someone like Brendan Taylor. Even if he manages to pick up a wicket of Graham Creamer, he'll still get a new batsman in.
Yeah, and they'll be very aware of the fact that there's not a lot to come. These were all off short deliveries. There he goes. So he's bowled it really well. Probably the best of all the seamers thus far used it as an attacking option, really put a lot of effort into it and got it to the right height as well. There we go again, up in the air. And Creamer's got some bat on it. It wasn't in control. Got inside the line and more of a fend than an orthodox pull shot. But he'll take the runs nonetheless. And that's what I'm talking about. Very, very well directed from Tessara Pereira. We've seen a few of the other seamers guilty of getting it too short and going over the batsman's head. But Tessara Pereira, by and large, has been very accurate with that short delivery. Not afraid to experiment as well. Happy to change the pace. Happy to mix it up. And he's got the just rewards.
Oh, looks like he's in a bit of a bother here. It's some part of the glove, the bat just coming out the hands. He's okay. It looks to be okay. Again, it's a short delivery, and again, it's well directed. That's what you were talking about earlier on. Right on the fingers there. That's well bowled.
It'll be a bit of concern for the Zimbabwean camp because that's his bowling hand, Graham Creamer, and so much rests on him, particularly in this second innings, bowling his leg spinners, such a crucial cog in the Zimbabwe wheel. And I'll just hope that it's nothing much and he can shake it off. There's the round arm delivery. I talk about his different variations, and that one is more round arm and trying to get that reverse swinging Yorker to spear in there. Very good change of action. There we go. And he's trying to get that reverse swing going. Just a hint of reverse swing. As I mentioned, he did it so well the other day against Bangladesh. Such a good bowler, Tessara Pereira. Such a good cricketer. And he's shown all his skills thus far in the tournament.
I have to wait and see whether they got some part of the bat or the pad. Only a single. It's off the pads. 164 for 6.
Eggy sticks, eggy pillow. Chotto break, chotto snacks.
So we are into the last 15 overs of the Zimbabwean innings, looking to try and come up with something special here, Zimbabwe. At the moment going at under 5 runs and over. I think the Sri Lankan bowlers should be congratulated on a good surface. They put their hands up, they bowled well with good control. Tessara Pereira has been outstanding. Dhananjay has looked steady, mixed it up quite well. That's the attempted leg break. He's really mixed it very well. Good variety he's shown. He's bowled the wrong end, the leg break, the off spin. Generally pushed the Zimbabwean batsman onto the back foot. Delivery. So what do you reckon, Ishtiaq? How much do you think Zimbabwe must be looking at from here?
Well, to give themselves a chance, a score of 240 plus should be a total that should be looking at. But from 165 for 6, it's not an ungettable kind of a target. With Brendan Taylor still there, Creamer doing his part. With the experience in Brendan Taylor, who's taken Zimbabwe many a time to a situation of comfort. Lankans obviously have everything to play for. This is a must-win game for them. And as you rightly said, both the spin as well as the pace, they've done a reasonably good job to keep Zimbabwe a little under pressure.
They get a single off the last ball, 3 runs off the over, 167 for 6.
মতো উত্তর ভরা ঝর্ণার মতো চঞ্চল বড় বিধাতার মতো নির্ভয় বড় প্রকৃতির মতো সক্ষম
গাজী টায়ার নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা
167 for 6. There's going to be a change of bowling. Asela Gunratne coming on. So this is a 6th bowling option that Sri Lanka has. Be very useful. Someone who could come and get you a wicket or two. Can bowl a few cheap overs. Generally runs in like a medium pace bowler Ishtiaq, but doesn't really arrive. Bowls a lot of cutters, very gentle medium pace. Can be a very deceptive type of bowler. Plays for the Sri Lanka army. Your first class experience behind him, has played a lot of list A cricket. Made his debut against Zimbabwe rather late in his career.
And more often than not, the batsman would tend to be a bit watchful. He looks a bit deceptive, but not the type of bowler the batsman would can take liberty and go for the big shots. He could be a bit deceptive, both off the air and off the pitch, on the air and off the pitch. Innocuous, but not as like to think.
Yeah, you're right, because always you got to be watchful against bowlers like this, because they'll be doing something different all the time. Where is his pace? Generally bowls the off cutter, can push it a little bit quicker, surprise the batsman, can strike the pad, can do a few things like that, so you always on the lookout. Great pass the bowler on the full, just a single. Sri Lanka will be pleased with a few cheap overs from Gunratne.
And those are the type of deliveries that you ought to take liberty. That was the scoring areas versus spin today. The Zimbabweans, 26% on the leg side. Not many front on, 10%. Comes down the wicket for only a single. That's what they need to do. They need to rotate the strike, and if and when Gunathilake bowls a loose ball, the one that they bowled earlier, it was a full toss, caught the batsman a bit by surprise, got the bottom part of the bat.
The last ball of the over. 4 runs off it. Sri Lanka wouldn't mind it. 171 for 6.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
Well, almost 21 overs of dot balls so far in the innings. 129 dots for Zimbabwe. That's because
পানির প্রয়োজনে আমরা আছি সব সময় আপনার পাশে। বাংলাদেশের সর্বাধিক ব্যবহৃত পানির ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী ট্যাঙ্ক। গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা। বাংলাদেশের সমৃদ্ধিতে গাজী গ্রুপ।
now that can be close unless there was an inside edge. The height was right, possibly an inside edge. Pereira was very, very confident. Let's see. Yes, inside edge. That's the reason why. No wonder the fielders weren't too enthusiastic. But I've been impressed with this man, Thisara Pereira, in this series. He's looked very different. Well, he's always had a plan against each and every batsman. He just bowled brilliantly to Taylor. This is the first game. and then got one through. He just set him up beautifully. He's been working on his bowling. He's worked to a method. And one thing that he's done brilliantly is that he's added a yard or two to his pace. Normally you would think, or you would see him running in and bowl a lot of variety, slower balls. Even this one, 2 balls ago, that was an inside edge, but the height was right. So you're always at the batsman. So now he's turning out to be more of a strike force than the holding bowler for Sri Lanka, which is good. And also, this effort appears to have rubbed very well on his batting. So far, the 2 innings we've seen him do, he's batted very well. Off an edge, down towards fine leg, it's taken. Pereira strikes again. Brendan Taylor looking to help it around. That ball bouncing.
Yes, and he's used his short deliveries to good effect. Almost all his short deliveries have either, there you see, pitching short, a little outside the leg stump, but well directed. I'm sorry, that was well directed, and he tried to play with the pace. Didn't get it properly, and finds himself giving this catch to fine leg. Brendan Taylor 58 of 80 and 171 for 7.
কি প্রবলেম?
আমরা বোর।
বোর? এই যে ক্যাসেল দেখছো না? আর এই যে প্রিন্সেস পিঙ্কি। এই যে দেখো পাইরেট জনি।
সুপার চিকেন আর সুপার মশলা ফ্লেভারের সুপার টেস্টি ইফাত এগ ইনস্ট্যান্ট নুডলস। নুডলস যখন এত মজা, মজা তখন ঠেকায় কে? এগিয়ে চলো কল্পনার রাজ্যে।
2 বছরের ওয়ারেন্টি যুক্ত গাজী পাম্প।
গাজী পাম্প আছে তাই আর কোনো চিন্তা নাই, স্রোতের ধারায় বইবে জীবন, পানির অপর নাম জীবন।
Kyle Jarvis is a new batsman. He doesn't have a great average, just 5.6. Sri Lanka will be pleased that they've got to the low order of Zimbabwe. Creamer, however, on strike. That's another good one. He's really running it. That's called a wide. Now the leg umpire thinks that it bounced over the batsman's head, so he signaled to the umpire. So Oxenford did take the cue. This is the wicket. Now this is Upul Taranga taking the catch on the boundary. Now this, I've been told that no Sri Lankan fielder has taken 4 catches in an ODI game so far in their history. Now Upul Taranga had the opportunity of taking 4 because he already dropped one. So if he takes another one, it will be a first for a Sri Lankan fielder.
Thisara Pereira has bowled with a lot of fire, and just when his services were required, Sri Lanka obviously need to win this match. It's a must-win match, and here we see Thisara Pereira. He was brilliant with the bat. He's taken wickets in all the matches, but this time he has shown why he's such an invaluable player for Sri Lanka. Brilliant spell of seam bowling by Thisara Pereira. Drives him straight, no run, 172 for 7.
Well, they've had a few starts. The 2 openers, Waller, Taylor making a very useful 58, but generally this has been a brilliant effort by Sri Lanka, especially in view of where they have been, this being a must-win game for them. Dhananjay will continue, and this is, I think, the true potential of the Sri Lankan side. If they play to their potential, they can be a force to reckon with. They can really run opposition close. Zimbabwe got 290 in the first game. Dhananjay continues. He's having a man backward short leg. Now this is a good move. Now they're going to have a man at forward short leg. Slip and a forward short leg. There is a man on the point boundary. Short extra cover. Well, they get a single. That's what Sri Lanka didn't want. They want to bowl more at Jarvis. But just to... on that subject, Ishtiaq, that I said about fielders, Upul Taranga did take 3 catches. Well, there has been a Sri Lankan fielder actually who had taken 4 in one-day cricket, and that was Mahela Jayawardene. But that was when he played for an Asian 11. When he played for an Asia 11 against Africa 11. That was not when he was playing for Sri Lanka. So I need to rephrase myself and say that there is a Sri Lankan who had taken 4 catches, but not taken it for his national team.
But one could be misled into thinking that Taranga has taken those catches as a wicket keeper, because he's also a wicket keeper, right?
Yes, he was a wicket. He is a wicket keeper, but I'm not sure whether he's kept in too many one-day games. Though he started his career as a wicket-keeper batsman, but he's played, I think, most of his cricket as a fielder for Sri Lanka.
But Thisara Perera taking 4 wickets, did you at any point in time, did you get the impression as if this wicket would be the kind of wicket where if the bowlers bend their back, or the ball would come onto the bat, or would assist the seam bowling? Initially, when the Sri Lankans were bowling and the Zimbabweans were batting, it's kind of a 50-50 kind of a situation where neither the ball was dominating the bat, and neither the batsmen were, coming were very comfortable playing shots against the fast bowlers. But what do you think with Thisara Perera getting 4 wickets? How would you attribute this wicket?
Well, we'll talk about it, but this is Dhananjay's variety. Just 4 wrong-uns. He's bowled his top delivery, which is the off-break. He bowls a lot of off-breaks, but just 4 wrong-uns. Punching off the back foot, couple of runs here at least. So, 178 for 7.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারই না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
Thisara Perera continues his 8th over. Just a hint of movement into the right-hander. But on the subject of the bounce, I always felt that this looked a hard track. The surface looks quite hard and firm, so anyone bending his back would get a bit of bounce. Of course, Taylor was peppered with the short ball, and to his credit, I thought he came out of it quite well, handled it well. Before this happened, I think he was fed up fending and finally playing a shot. One away on the onside. This would be 4. That didn't bounce as much. So Creamer now looking to play a few shots.
One of the few short deliveries there, taken full advantage of. Creamer standing tall and hitting him through mid-wicket. There you see.
The 2 men out on the leg side boundary. This is high. It's going off a top edge, and he will just manage to pull it side. That's Upul Taranga, but I'm sure the umpire would want to take a look. Just managing to kick it in. Was there any part touching the boundary? That will be the question. This is Taranga. Presence of mind just to kick it in. Looks all right to me. What do you think, Ishtiaq?
Yes, a little bit of a risk though, but Taranga has surely done his part as far as his fielding is concerned, added to his catches. That was a good show there also.
It's not advisable to play around, kick a cricket ball, because we've seen a few injuries happen, but on that occasion That was the best he could have done. Oh, another inside edge. Another inside edge. What would Taranga do? Well done. Again, just manages to pull it back. That time unlucky, Pereira. That's a moral victory. But a couple of runs, Zimbabwe wouldn't mind it. They've got 8 runs in the over so far.
That was a thick inside edge. Lucky not to have, there you see, trying to drive but getting an thick inside edge. The process getting 2 runs there. A good bit of fielding by Ofal Taranga.
Mr. Pereira has really hit that ball hard that time. Once again, just hitting that bat hard. And I've been impressed with the line. Look at the mix. The good length has been brilliant. He's mixed the short ball well. Those pulsating deliveries are the ones that had wickets. With the short ball and also the good length delivery. He's been Sri Lanka's standout performer in the series so far. The last ball of his 8th over. So 9 runs in that over. 187 now for 7. Well, we're into the last 10 overs of the Zimbabwean innings, the final power play. And that's the confirmation, which means Sri Lanka will be allowed the extra field outside the 30-yard circle. So they can have 5 now. Dhananjay will continue. He's into his final over. None for 42. He's got 3 men out on the leg side boundary. Starts off with a leg break.
I had said at one stage that a score of in excess of 240 would the Zimbabweans would find themselves a bit comfortable. 188 for 7 from here. Roshan, you think a score of 240 would be likely, given that Zimbabweans have had the edge over the Sri Lankans in the recent past? But it's a must-win game for Sri Lanka. What do you think would be a good score?
Well, to start with, if they can get to 240 from here, they would have done brilliantly because they're into their last 3 batsmen. Jarvis doesn't have great credentials as a batsman, just Graham Creamer. Sri Lanka should bowl very badly to allow them to get there. Short leg in, slip. They should avoid balls like that. That's a poor delivery. Akila Dhananjay gets an opportunity to bowl to the tail end and he bowls a juicy half volley or a full toss. Now, if they do things like that, there's a good chance of Zimbabwe getting to 240 from here. They need to be tight.
They have to, a couple of deliveries or a couple of overs, they'll have to resort to some lusty blows, some big hits. This was a shot that he could have maybe tried, because one of the few deliveries you've seen a bowler bowling up, not taking full advantage on that occasion.
So Dhananjay obviously attacking with that flight, looking to dismiss the batsman. I think he realizes that there is an opportunity, particularly against the tail enders, to try and attack and dismiss. That's the way to go. This time to the man at mid-off. There is a fielder inside the 30-yard circle. So it's going to be the last ball of his spell. 3 runs in the over so far. It's been a decent spell of off-spin. Or spin bowling, I should say. Last ball of the over. Jarvis survives. 190 for 7. And Dhananjay has bowled 10 overs for 45.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারই না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
190 for 7. This partnership now 19 runs of 20 balls. Sri Lanka need to look at dismissing. They can't afford the tail of Zimbabwe to wag. And one Pradeep been called back. Prima has been good. He's made 29 of 37 balls. Jarvis hung in there, made 5 of 7. Prima on strike. That's just slipping down the leg side. Just a little bit of movement into the right hand, but a good Yorker to start with. Just looking for that Yorker full length. Hint of reverse, but clearly missing the leg stump. So a single of the first ball.
They have to take these singles. They've got less than 5 runs and over. All they need to do is play out the 50 overs, take the singles, 1 or 2 deliveries if they can, if they take liberty, have the courage to take the aerial route, go for some big hits maybe. That was a good
That
delivery.
time, staying down. Jarvis on the back foot. This is good bowling by Nuwan Pradeep, hurrying him.
That's typical of the Sri Lankan bowling today. Bowling very tight, keeping the batsman quiet. The ball probably kept a little low. Took the batsman by surprise. But you've got to give credit to all the Sri Lankan bowlers, the seamers in particular.
Done him. That is good. Sri Lanka needed wickets, and that's exactly what Nuwan Pradeep has done at this stage. Kyle Jarvis. He's been castled by a good delivery. Again, tailing in, hitting the off stump. He's in no position. Feet nowhere. Big gap between bat and pad. Jarvis goes for 5, 191 for 8.
সকালে বিকালে অথবা সন্ধ্যায় যে যখন চা চায় টি টাইম থাকা চাই, টি টাইম থাকা চাই। মাখনের স্বাদে ভরা মচমচে নোনতা, ইফাত টি টাইম চায়ের সাথে সেরাটা। ইফাত টি টাইম চায়ের সাথে সেরাটা।
Right, we got Tendai Chatara coming in at number 10. Again, doesn't really have great credentials as a batsman. Average in the single figures. 191 for 8. Sri Lanka will be looking to try and wrap it up. This is the wicket of Jarvis hitting the top of the off stump. Asking the question here, they're very confident. Not referring it. Nuwan Pradeep straight away indicated not to, though they were confident. This is another good delivery. Chatara completely beaten. Bit of extra pace. Foot going nowhere. Possibly just missing the leg stump.
Well, Kyle Jarvis blessing Muzarabani and Tendai Chatara would be keen to bowl on this wicket. The Sri Lankans have done a decent job trying to extract whatever little bit of pace and bounce that they could. The seamers have obviously got the wickets, and there's no reason why they should not feel that they can get something out of this wicket too.
But one ball to go in the over. Been a good over so far. Just a solitary run in it. From wide to the crease, he survives. Good over. 7 overs from Pradeep. It's 191 for 8.
রনি দরজাটা খোল শুনছো মেহমান এসছে ওই কাজু বিস্কুটটা দাও
আরে তোমরাই তো সব শেষ করে দিলে মেহমান কোথায়
তুমি তো মেহমান ছাড়া দাও না
আসল কাজু বাদামে ভরা ও ফ্রেশ বাটারের সাথে ইফাত কাজু ডিলাইট বিস্কিট শুধু মেহমানের জন্য নয়
Well, apart from Taylor, nobody really able to get to grips with the Sri Lankan bowling here today. Starts for Masakadza and Mire. Waller as well with his 24. Creamer not out 29 of 38 deliveries, but he's running out of partners. Chitara, who's at the crease at the moment, and well, only blessing him Zarabani to come. I'll be very, very pleased with the way things have progressed here today, the Sri Lankans, knowing full well they have to win here today to keep their hopes alive in this tournament. And they're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. 191 for 8. Zimbabwe, 8 overs remaining. Pulled away by Creamer, it's in the gap. And yeah, splits it perfectly. Really good stuff from him. It was too short from Chandakan. And he had all the time in the world to rock back and pull it away.
Yeah, I think that's the right approach by Graham Creamer. No use just hanging about and waiting for things to happen. You've got to be a little proactive. And when the baller's standing up to be hit like that, you do your best and put it away. He needs to just shield the tail enders a bit. And that's one area that will be playing on his mind. He wants to ensure to get as much of the strike as he can.
And I think that's an indication of what his method is going to be. He's going to try and have as much of the strike as possible. Lakshan Sandakan today, the boundaries come when it's been on a good length, and invariably that's come from the sweep shot. He's got 2 wickets as well. As mentioned, I think that he's been a wee bit leg-side-ish. A little bit inconsistent insofar as his lengths are concerned, but you would expect that from a wrist spinner. Very difficult art bowling wrist spin. Now he's got his opportunity to maybe bag a third. Tendai Chitara, I can probably comfortably tell you that he doesn't know which way it's turning, so it's going to be interesting to see his method of defence. Or will it be attack?
Swing and hope for the best. Let's wait and see. Well, he's watchful, and I think he's played that reasonably well. Was unlucky not to get it past the diving fielder. Good commitment shown in the field.
Yeah, very good stuff. There we go. Wow, he's picked it easy, hasn't he? On the back foot, smashing it through the covers. What's all the fuss about?
Oh, what's that?
Well, no. Maybe he didn't quite have the same perception on that particular delivery. Wry smile from Tendai Chitara.
Little nod to his skipper. Didn't know very much about that. He's just possibly playing for the one that was going away. Yeah, you can see that left a huge gap between bat and pad. Fortunate that it didn't go and strike timber. Well, that's very interesting. His retained strike by taking a single of the last ball of the 43rd over. 197 for 8. One of the reasons for that 197 for 8 after 43 is those dot balls. 150 of them. Need to have more scoring balls than those, and that's what's pegged them back. But all credit to the Sri Lankan bowlers, keeping it tight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not so sure the single off the last ball of the previous over was such a good idea. But Chitara has nonchalantly played it into the leg side and given Creamer the strike back. Pradeep has been really good today. Wicket, the pulsating white delivery, but generally he's peppered that good length, and he's also used the short ball to good effect. A lot of those ones in there as well have been changes of pace, so he's been really, really good today. Economy rate of 3.91, and he's taken 1 for 28. This is 8th over.
Oh, ball clean him up completely. Graham Creamer was on strike. You're talking about him keeping a tight line on length. This one was pitched up, and I think it's just slid underneath the bat and hit timber.
Yeah, beat him for pace, you'd have to say. An effort ball. It's snuck back in as well. You'd have to say the angle was very good. Maybe a bit of a seam and maybe a wee bit of reverse swing as well. Really good delivery. And, well, makes a mess of the leg stump. Really, really good stuff. And they get another one. Graham Creamer played a good hand, 34 of just 42 deliveries. But Zimbabwe now on the edge, 198 for 9.
Eggy sticks, eggy pillow. ছোট্ট ব্রেক, ছোট্ট স্ন্যাক্স।
Got Blessing Mazurabani is coming, the last man in. And really, Graham Creamer needed to stay there, but what a peach of a delivery this was to send him back. Just a hint of a reverse, and left that gap between bat and pad, just jagging in. Perfect delivery, caught at the crease, and stumps uprooted. Another good one.
How did that miss? Blessing Zarabani, the new batsman to the crease. He didn't know much about this one. But Graham Creamer, well, he had to look back to know that it was an absolute mess behind him. Really good piece of bowling. They'd keep down a wee bit, but it was more the inward movement that proved his undoing in the end.
Well, Mazurabani has long levers, tall guy, 6'8". And he put bat on ball. Oh, very awkward there. And he keeps on just jacking those balls back in. Got a bit of extra bounce on that occasion also. Really fired up as the bowler.
Yeah, definite inward movement. Hint of swing, a hint of off cut as well. Top bowling this by Pradeep really is.
Loaded down, and that's very intelligent bowling. Well, it's not as slow as I initially thought, but it was on target. Deviation of the seam to dismiss Creamer. Look at it. If the ball had not seamed, it would have gone on and hit the bat, because the actual ball coming back in hit timber, hit the stumps, cartwheeling the stumps. Always a good sight for the bowler. Oh, it's cleaned him up. That's it for the Zimbabweans. Wonderful bowling performance to finish it up for the Sri Lankan side. Nuwan Pradeep gets the last wicket.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous bowling effort and fielding effort. They have put down 1 or 2, but generally they've been spot on, the Sri Lankans, and led ably by all of their bowlers. They would have talked about this being a crunch game. They would have been talking about putting in a good performance, and they've done just that. Well, he's nowhere, Blessing Zarabani. Another good delivery of good pace, and front foot was nowhere, bat was nowhere, and again all he could do was turn around and see the carnage behind him. So Nuwan Pradeep ends up with 3 wickets. Been really, really good stuff from him. And he's been ably supported by every single one of those men in blue here today. It's been an outstanding effort. Remember Graham Creamer winning the nobody managing to get on top of the Sri Lankan attack.
Looking much more confident as a team from when they played Bangladesh the last time around. Complete turnaround, and a lot of credit can go to that man Dinesh Chandimal, who we saw making a deliberate effort and a very positive effort of trying to gee up his team. And even when there was a catch drop, you could see that he was very annoyed, had them in a huddle, so charged them up, and it has paid off. I think it's been a very disciplined performance, except for a couple of lapses in the field. I think the Sri Lankans have done exceedingly well in keeping Zimbabwe down to 198 all out.
Plenty to cheer about for the die-hard Sri Lankan supporters. They've been through the mill in the past year, and it hasn't started off too brightly in 2018 as well, but plenty to wave about after that performance. It's been spot on from the Sri Lankan bowlers and fielders, and they've restricted Zimbabwe to 198 all out, and they'll be very, very pleased with the way things sit at the moment. Right, so let's go downstairs now to a very happy Roshan Abasinghe.
Yes, indeed. Why not? Sri Lanka has performed brilliantly. 198 all out. Zimbabwe in a crunch game. Sri Lanka had to win this game to be in the tournament. And I think they've done the first part quite well, dismissing them for 198. And now it's up to the Sri Lankan batsmen to put their hands up. And let's see what they can do. Athar Ali Khan with me. Athar, you must be impressed with the way the Sri Lankans bowled.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they didn't start it well in the first 4 overs, but they came back strongly. And I thought in the middle there was something for some hope for Zimbabwe as well when Brendan Taylor was batting. But at one stage, 139 for 4 and 198 all out. So full credit to the Sri Lankan bowlers. I thought they bowled wonderfully well.
Yeah, no doubt indeed. Absolutely, they bowled brilliant. Let's take a look at the batting card, and that's how it is. 198 all out. Sri Lanka never really allowed too many batsmen to settle in. A few batsmen did get a start. Brendan Taylor, 58, 24, 34, some 20s. But, well, nothing really to write home about. 198 all out in 44 overs. Well, the Sri Lankan bowling was equally impressive. And I thought the Sri Lankan bowlers, particularly the seam bowlers, bowled extremely well, Atta. And I thought they bowled with a plan. And for the first time in the series, I felt that the Sri Lankans' plans were very well executed. I'm sure they had plans, but it's about execution.
Yeah, it's also about Thisara Perera. He's the one who started to pick up wickets. He picked up the first 3 wickets and came back and also picked up later on another wicket. So he picked up 4 wickets and going on to pick up the most wickets in the tournament so far. So it's the plans and the execution right. But as an individual, as a bowler, you need to understand what the captain wants, and they wanted wickets, and that's what Thisara Perera did. Delivered with the goods with the ball straight away when he came into the attack.
Yeah, indeed. We have seen something special about Thisara Perera in this tournament. And this is how he started. He's been Sri Lanka's leading wicket taker. To start with, I thought he's bowled quicker. He's got a bit of bounce. He's looked to be more aggressive. And his role in this side is very different. Now, in the past, he used to do a holding job. He used to come and defend. But now, I think it's more about attacking. Look at the lines he's bowled. He's been very consistent, lovely groupings. Anyone watching will agree that his length areas have been brilliant. Excellent use of the short ball, and generally very judicious with his lines and lengths.
Yeah, absolutely, you're spot on. And I think if you talk about the short, the one that he bowls on the short side of the wicket, the direction is very good. He gets it up just above the eye level, which is a little bit difficult to control for the batsman. And he once get that in that area, he picks up wickets, and he picks up wickets of short pitch delivery. I also like to add one more point here, because he comes round arm. When you see him, all of a sudden he comes round arm because then he gets a little bit of reverse. So he's got a lot of variety in his repertoire, and he's been very impressive with the ball.
Yeah, now 198 is what Sri Lanka has got, and well, they should be looking at knocking this target off, because after you did the pitch report, and it looked a good surface.
It is a good surface. I mean, it has been a good surface throughout the tournament. Yes, at times you would see the bowler just stopping over, but if you're willing to spend time in the middle, you will score runs here. But if you're going in with a set frame of mind that you want to go and attack right from the word go, it's not going to be easy. But it's important that you spend time in the middle, and with that kind of a total, you would expect that Sri Lanka would go on and pull their first win.
Right, I think in case you have missed the action of this game, we like to show you some highlights of the Zimbabwean innings and take a look at how the Zimbabweans started off, and also, more importantly, the way the Sri Lankans bowled.
Yes, initially they were not bowling in the right areas, but once they settled down after especially the 4 overs, they started to trouble the batsmen. And there were times when you could see that the batsmen were in control, especially Hemantla Masakaza, who was looking good. But as the day progressed, the problem was the fall of wickets. So that's where the Sri Lankan bowlers really attacked and ensured that not only they stopped them from scoring quick runs, but on the way also take wickets.
Well, there have been a few shots played by the Zimbabwean batsmen. Some shots were connected well, some went to hand, some delightful drives on the offside, some good pull shots, and some punches off the back foot. Sikandarasa attempting the sweep shot, brilliantly taken at the short square leg. That was Kusal Mendes. That was a good effort. And then this one was given out, but there was a big inside edge. This was Waller. That was a straightforward review. Umpire Bruce Oxenford had to change it. Waller Taylor did get Zimbabwe off some sort of anxiety. There was a catch miss, but generally the sweep shot was good. Some shots off the back foot, some good drives as well. Not an easy shot to play the on drive. And also I thought the Zimbabwean batsman read Lakshan Sandakan quite well. Read him off the hand, read him off the pitch.
Yeah, I think the partnership between Waller and Brendan Taylor looked like they would have set up a really big total, but then again the Sri Lankan bowlers have different ideas. I thought Brendan Taylor played a really good role. Had he gone on to score a little bit more, perhaps would have been a better total on the board. But then again, as I said earlier, Sri Lankan bowlers were on the mark today.
Yeah, I thought the seam bowlers were good. The use of the short ball was good. The length areas were very good. And well, this run out didn't help the Zimbabwean cause too. That was a terrible mix-up. Zimbabwe's problem was that they kept losing wickets, and there wasn't a partnership that they could have really depended too much on. And this was the dismissal of Brendan Taylor, just helping the short ball around of Thisara Pereira. And Pereira had a great game. And Creamer did attempt a few shots. But in the end, Zimbabwe been bowled out 198. So it's a good effort by the Sri Lankans, the seam bowlers in particular, just making sure that they did everything right. So have Sri Lanka done enough? These 198, the type of target they could get easily. And well, we're going to find out from someone who used a lot of time in the middle. Brendan Taylor, thank you so much for joining us, BT. Talk us about that pitch first.
Yeah, it was a little bit different today. It looked exactly the same as our previous win against Sri Lanka, but it didn't play that way. It was a little bit too paced. The bounce was a little bit invariable, so it made the cross-bat shots a little bit tougher to make. But again, they stuck to the gun, Sri Lankans, and they made it very difficult for us to score.
Yeah, before I get Arthur in, I want to ask you a question. Tell us about your strategy against Lakshan Sandakan. I thought you read him quite well. Is it the pacey ball that helped you, or were you watching him off the hand?
Yeah, I think maybe he bowled a little bit too slowly. The wicket had slow turns, so you could adjust to it. And but you know, he had a good wrong end, so he always kept you guessing. So we've seen a little bit of him before. I've never faced him before, so I was very wary of him.
Well, now this is your first half century coming back, and it has been a half century that you had to work really hard. It was a good innings, and particularly the runs that you've scored. You've been quite fond of scoring runs on the leg side. Is it that you were reading the off spinner? You're willing to sort of play it with the turn with minimum risk?
you're always looking to play with the turn, and also the Sri Lankan seamers generally angle it into you. So you're trying to play straight, and then if it does get a little bit too straight, then you can work it to leg side.
Yeah, Brendan, first of all, congratulations on your comeback 50, but you would wanted to continue so that you could have put up a better total. 198, I don't think it's a big target, but you really need to bowl well and pick up early wickets. That's the key for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 50s don't win you games. So a very frustrating time for me to get out there, and we lost group wickets at crucial periods. So it's always hard to rebuild from that and play attacking cricket when you're trying to rebuild. So if we start well with the ball, it is quite a hard wicket to score. So hopefully we can strike early.
Yeah, and obviously the fact that you had a bit of a partnership with Malcolm Waller, at that stage it looked like that Zimbabwe would go on to score perhaps 200 or maybe 240, 250, but then things didn't really go your way.
Yeah, we felt maybe 240, 250 would be competitive, but like I said, you know, when you're getting in and getting out, it slows the process down and makes it very difficult.
Just one final question, BT, before you go. I know you got to go and field, but did this game just cause a little bit of concern for you guys, pressure, knowing that it's a must-win for Sri Lanka and a game that you guys needed to win just to be sure that you're in the finals? Does that kind of pressure get into you guys because you don't play so much of cricket as the other teams?
Well, we felt maybe the pressure might be a little bit more on them coming off 2 losses. So giving that win the other day for us certainly helped us. We had a good platform early from Solomon and Hamilton, and unfortunately we couldn't repay the faith there and kick on and get those big partnerships and big individual scores.
All right, BT, thanks a lot for joining us. Very well done on your innings. And well, that's the story as far as Brendan Taylor was concerned. You heard about the pitch and how Zimbabwe attempted to play. So Sri Lanka's target will be, we'll show you, Zimbabwe made 198, so it's 199 is what the Sri Lanka need to get. That's under 4 runs and over. Now that wouldn't frighten the Sri Lankan batsmen. So let's see how they set about when their inning starts.
Well, welcome back from wherever you're watching around the world. It's the 4th ODI, the Rocket Tri-Nation Series. In this particular game between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe, we're live from the Sherry Bangla National Stadium here in Mirpur. And, well, it's the Sri Lankans who will feel much the better at the break. The Zimbabweans limping to 198 all out in 44 overs. A good start from Masakadza and Mire. Taylor was good in the middle order, but nobody able to stick with him and post anything that would be considered decent on this particular surface. The Sri Lankan bowlers were top draw in what they did today. Wickets particularly for Tisara Pereira, Nuwan Pradeep and Lakshan Sandakan. Right, so that's the equation. 199 runs will be required by Sri Lanka, and they're allotted 50 overs. They've got plenty of time to do it. And Kusal Pereira will lead the way for them. 73 matches for him. Strike rate of touch under 90, best of 135. He's a real dasher when he gets going. And Upal Taranga, plenty of experience from this elder statesman. 221 games, strike rate of 75, and a best of 174 not out. So they'll back themselves big time in this particular game. Will the Sri Lankans? Having said that, they'll still have to put a few negative thoughts out of the mind insofar as their past history is concerned, and make sure they get off to a good start. Kyle Jarvis in his 27th game, 29 wickets for him, and he'll be hoping to get his team off to a good start here. He was just a wee bit wide in the last encounter against the Sri Lankans, and was put away by Kusal Pereira, particularly through that point area. And it'll be interesting to see how his method of attack has changed. Anyway, we're ready to get going here in Mirpur. Sri Lankans needing 199 to win. Big appeal, their swing. I tell you what, he misjudged that big time, did Kusal Pereira. Shouldering arms, thinking it was going to be an off-cutter and go past that off-stump. And that's the first bit of real swing we've seen with the new ball in this series thus far. Good evening, Shamim. What do you make of that?
Afternoon, yeah, almost evening. Alistair, yeah, look at this. Just have another look in slow motion now. At times, that can be very dangerous. You don't want to shoulder arms at a ball that's heading your way. Maybe just the impact way above. Got away with that.
Here's that width we talk about. It only has to be very slight for Pereira. That was just outside the off stump, but able to get inside the line and get it down to third man, his favourite scoring area. Jarvis was indicating height. It pitched in line, hit on leg stump, and yeah, height being the issue. And he knew that straight away when Graham Creamer was asking him for his thoughts. You saw him using the right hand to go, no, I think it's too high, so let's not waste the referral, and quite rightly so.
Couple of slips in. Someone walking behind front of the side screen. Two slips, a deep third man rather square. Back at point cover and wide-ish mid-off. There's the field on the offside. On the onside, the deep fine leg on the boundary, a mid-wicket, and deepish mid-on.
That is trials outside the off-stump as Upal Taranga. It'll be interesting to see how he contends with Jarvis here.
Tell you what, he can be very, very strong once he gets going. I've seen evidence of that during the BPL, playing for the Sylhet Sixers, just really thrashing them about backward of square on the offside. On this occasion, comfortably sailing through, not to be tempted. Jarvis must be pretty happy with the bounce and carry that he's achieved so far.
There we go, that's what I'm talking about. There's that, the avenue of anxiety, I think it's referred to now, outside that off stump, not knowing whether to play defensively or attacking, and in the end he just wafted the bat.
Yeah, you can see that he feels very comfortable with that ball. You're right, it's stuck to the crease, not a very comfortable position for a batsman to be in two minds.
Off a thickish outside edge. It's really probing over from Jarvis. Really good on the money straight away. Found his rhythm, getting a good head of steam up. And it's critical that they hit their straps early on, the Zimbabweans, and try and pry out a couple of wickets. Really put the Sri Lankans on the back foot. As I mentioned, they're not coming from a position of any confidence, even though you would see this as a pretty regulation run chase. Not when you've lost so many games as the Sri Lankans have. You want to put a few demons to bed and get off to a good start.
Strokes it, but straight to the field, and an excellent first over. 2 without loss.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
Early on in the run chase, just the one over bowled by Jarvis. Pereira and Taranga still at the crease. And Tendai Chitara is going to take the new ball alongside Kyle Jarvis. 44 matches for him, 59 wickets. Economy rate of a shade over 5 to the over, best of 4 for 33. He does have the ability to take early wickets. Tendai Chitara got a magnificent slower ball. We saw that against Sri Lanka the other night. Can he chip out a few here early for his team?
One thing he does not want to do is just in his line. Just don't allow the Sri Lankans to get easy runs. Not to milk him. We saw that problem with the Sri Lankan bowlers when they came into first. Tendai Chitara got 4 wickets in the last game. Worth having a look at that. It's just pulled, not timed it. Easy catch there for Creamer. Straight down, he's trying to go over the top, the slow delivery, foxing the batsman on of the second grab. It's taken. The full toss, well, couldn't take full toll of that, as a matter of fact, just down the throat of Raza there. And the fourth one, well, half-cock shot, easiest of the catches.
Yeah, that won Zimbabwe the game, particularly the wicket of Tisara Pereira.
Well, that stroked nicely, but just, I think, not quite timing. At one point in time, I thought it was going to penetrate the gap, but it found the fielder.
They've chased in all 3 games in the tournament thus far. They've lost their first 2 games, the Sri Lankans. They fare in this 3rd game. As mentioned, it's not a hefty target they have to overcome. Just 199 required. They had plenty to overcome in the game 2 nights ago against Bangladesh, 320, and they perished to 157 all out in just 32 overs. Bangladesh seamers to Taranga, and that was in the 3rd one-day international. That's evidence of what I've been talking about. They were peppering that off stump, and he really struggled to get the ball away, particularly off that back of a length. That's where Jarvis exposed in the previous over. I tell you what, he wanted to run, and he had to turn and get back very quickly in. Direct hit would have been very interesting.
Joe, he had to scurry back. He was sent back quickly enough. Maybe he would have made good his run. Have a look at this from this angle. Direct throw. Well, I'll give it to the batter. Close call. Regovan there. Just the release was good. The direction left a little to be desired. It's not very comfortable yet. It's good bowling. Tight. He's close that angle and is just keeping him glued to his position, not giving him any width at all.
One thing that's in their favour, the Sri Lankans in this run chase, is that they don't have any scoreboard pressure. They don't have a big total they have to chase down, as with that 320 the other night, and with the 290 scored by Zimbabwe. Here they have a total that they can actually afford to be a bit more circumspect, take their time, don't have to play too many rash shots. They can really pace themselves in the innings. One thing that the coach will be hoping they do. 2 overs bowled, 5 for none.
রনি দরজাটা খোল শুনছো মেহমান এসছে ওই কাজু বিস্কুটটা দাও
আরে তোমরাই তো সব শেষ করে দিলে মেহমান কোথায়
তুমি তো মেহমান ছাড়া দাও না আসল কাজু বাদামে ভরা ও ফ্রেশ বাটারের সাথে ইফাত কাজু ডিলাইট বিস্কিট শুধু মেহমানের জন্য নয়
Going to be Upal Tharanga on strike now. Jarvis into his second over. Waits on that one and just guides it for a single. Brings in Kusal Pereira. Just got a single in his last outing, but 80 prior to that. One bad innings is not going to really play on his mind. Can accumulate the runs. He's pretty good with using the angles. Not always trying to go after the bowling, he just milks the runs.
I don't think that's the way he plays though. I think he likes to get on with it, Kusal Pereira. He likes to give it a bash, particularly if it's in his strong area outside that off stump. Oh, it's up in the air, squared him up a little bit, did Kyle Jarvis. And well, it bounced safely in the end, out to backward point. Just not in control.
The point I was trying to make is he can intersperse all his big hitting. We know about the ones he really chases after, and he's got that very strong bottom hand. Uses that very well, but that also helps in compiling the angled shots. Finds the spaces. Good, tight, accurate bowling. Good run taken.
Yeah, change of pace it looked like on that occasion. Waited on it nicely, did Kusal Pereira. It was the last over. That was at first delivery. Bit of swing and then just peppered that off stump. Really good groupings. It caused a fair few problems, and he started in the same vein in this particular over. Normally known for his accuracy, Kyle Jarvis, and has really come on leaps and bounds as a bowler from his stint in county cricket, where you have to be on the money. He lost a wee bit of pace from when he last played for Zimbabwe, but has gained a huge amount of skill and accuracy from his stint in county cricket.
Again, not allowing the batsman the freedom. His bowled that line so accurately. I was just looking at the Hawkeye of the previous over when he brought a ball back in. Angle most of the balls away from the left-handers, and that's to be anticipated, and the batsman will play accordingly. But if he can nip one back in off the seam or with a little bit of movement in the air, that will be the surprise element. Oh, he's trying to put it away. You just Upal Tharanga does not like getting bogged down. 10 balls he's faced, and just the 4 runs. He will be looking to just open up a little bit. Just hint of pressure being created here by the Zimbabwean bowlers.
Change of field for this last delivery. Fine leg coming up on the circle, square leg going back to the boundary. Yeah, nicely bowled again. Very good over. 3 bowled, 7 for none.
ভাই দেখেন 1 মাস আগে ফ্রেন্ড রিকোয়েস্ট পাঠিয়েছি এখনো অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে না আমি আমার ফেসবুক অ্যাকাউন্ট ডিঅ্যাক্টিভেট করে দেব
শান্ত হ ভালোই তো বিড়ালটা ধর এবার নতুন করে ফ্রেন্ড রিকোয়েস্ট পাঠা
ভাই আপনি তো একটা চিজ
আরে আমি না আসল চিজ ইফাত চিজি বাইটস আসল